All right. Well, there are a lot of people who say they just watch the Super Bowl for the commercials or for a party to go to, something like that. So, but I love the commercials just as much as I love the game. So today we thought we'd do a little assessment of what we can expect coming up on Sunday. And we have with us in studio the president of Innis Majori, Mr. Mark Vandegrift. Hi, Mark.
Good morning, Pam. How are you?
I'm doing well. And I should say congratulations on celebrating 50 years for Innis Majori, right?
Thank you. That's a big milestone to have your founder with you still 50 years later. Dick Majori is still active and vital to our business.
I remember when I first came to town, that was, you always, Innis Majori, that was it. You heard it, and it's still that way today, so that's awesome.
Yeah, it's exciting to celebrate. We have a lot of different plans for the entire year with a big shindig in August planned.
Ooh, nice. I like it. All right, so we need to find out about these commercials. First of all, I don't know where you want to start. Is there a way that you watch the commercials that might be different from the way that we watch commercials, you as an ad man,
Yeah, there's probably a little difference. I always like to find the nugget, the idea that the commercial's trying to convey, because the Super Bowl commercials especially have become what we call advertainment. They're more of trying to create a movie or create this amazing spot that gets tons of awards, but then you forget what they were advertising. So I watch it more for what's that nugget right there that I'm supposed to walk away with, because eventually I want to buy their product, right?
Right.
So that's really the key thing. And what the advertisers drop, the ads this year are $7 million per 30-second spot. And you compare that to 1989, I think it was, $687,000 per spot, which is about $1.5 million in today's money. And the reason is the audience has grown. 115 million U.S. audience, over 200 million worldwide. So that's a big audience. If you're advertising your wares, whatever that may be, you have a lot of eyeballs on the message. And a lot of people watch the Super Bowl just for the commercials because, frankly, being Browns, Steelers, whatever the fans are around here, Kansas City and San Francisco,
okay,
it's a toss-up.
Yeah, we've got no skin in the game
That's
now,
right.
But we're just, exactly.
Yep, and then the celebrities are really dominating everything this year. And if you take $7 million for the spot, you add the fees you pay to these celebrities, which has to at least double that, all the production value, etc., you're probably looking at, I don't know, $14 million for a 30-second spot if you only ran that spot once. Of course, in this day and age, teasers are a big thing. We all know what's coming. We've seen a lot of the spots already. They've taken away that magic, kind of like you and I. We loved our Mean Joe Green 45 years ago, 1979, drinking that Coke. Wasn't that awesome? And we talked about that spot for days and days, maybe weeks. Now you have teasers going on, and Volkswagen alone had 4 teasers come out just to talk about their commercial that's upcoming. They're one of the few that haven't dropped their commercial already.
Yeah, because you can go online and look at the commercials already.
Yes. And there's 58, as far as we can tell, there's 58 different brands that are advertising this year.
Oh, my gosh.
And most of them, you can already see what the ad is. I would say out of those, 50 have dropped their ad already.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, that's no fun. That's no fun. I mean, I'm not going to go look at them because I want to be surprised by them. But do you think, how effective are they, well, first of all, do you think they make their money back? In I guess it works, or they wouldn't be spending it, right?
Some of them do. There are some interesting ones. Do you remember the QR code 2 years ago?
Yes.
Do you remember who the brand is?
I have no idea.
Yeah, nobody remembers that. And that company, their earnings were down 89% from that time they ran the Super Bowl. So what they did is they put all their money into the Super Bowl ad, and nothing came of it. They had 20 million app downloads, and the company is Coinbase. Now, you can add a lot of things into that because crypto has gone ups and downs and all that other thing. But there's a lot of brands, if they throw their entire wad just to that and they never do anything beyond it, then they've kind of wasted that $7 million or whatever it was a couple of years ago. So there are certainly brands that know how to do this. You have your regular players, Pepsi, Doritos, all your car commercials, Kia, they're all in that. One that was really interesting, do you know Addison Rae? She's a Gen Z influencer, 88 million followers on TikTok, 30 million on Instagram.
Oh my gosh.
Her teaser alone had over 600 million impressions.
Oh.
Now, there's over 300 million in the US, so that means on average 2 views of that teaser spot for nerds that
The candy.
the candy.
The candy
for
nerds.
Yeah. And that commercial's dropped already as well, so you can look at that, but her teaser was that much. Now what's funny about it, the nerds TikTok and Instagram only got 8,700 views. So that tells you the power of influencers.
Right.
600 million views of Addison Rae's social media.
Wow. That's amazing. That is amazing.
Yeah. So the extension into the social sphere is unlike anything we've ever seen. Snapchat, they have 3 different brands. They're doing tie-ins. So Dove, they're talking about women's sports and the confidence of female bodies. So they have a Snapchat overlay. They're doing Doritos with their Dinamita. That's really a fun commercial to follow. They're doing an overlay where you can grab a chip. There's a couple different Snapchat tie-ins that are going on this year.
Okay.
So it's all about both the PR you get from the teasers, what are people doing, you get the chatter on social, and then you have the tie-ins with the social, and then post-commercial, which I know we'll talk about upcoming Monday.
Yeah.
You get all the chatter about how'd you like that commercial, and so people are just commenting over and over and over again. And that follow through on the commercials is really what brands covet, even more than just that impression they make on Super Bowl day.
Right.
Yeah.
And the Clydesdales are coming back.
Yes, they are.
So-
And it's a great spot. They have the yellow lab along with it.
Yeah. See
Yep.
there, that's going to be, I mean, as an advertising guy, emotion. What are you trying to grab? Is emotion a big one, right?
Emotion's the big thing, because if we're not paying attention, we don't care what the story is. So it's that idea that most of the brands, they tend to don't have an idea. That's where that advertainment comes in, and we would say, well, it's great that you were on the Super Bowl, and any brand that can drop 7 million has a level of cachet, so we pay attention. But if the idea is left on the cutting room floor, then you've missed that opportunity. One that I found interesting was Christopher Welkin. He's doing an ad for BMW, and it's a minute commercial. You go all the way through until the very end, and we realize there's only one Christopher Welkin. Everyone's trying to make his voice, and he gets annoyed by it by the end. And they leave it with the only ultimate driving machine. Well, we know BMW.
Yeah.
That idea is the ultimate driving machine, the only performance car people really care about. So they make the idea, the emotional connection. There's only one Christopher Welkin. There's only one ultimate driving machine. So to us, that's the ultimate combination that you need to make when you do advertising. So that's really what we're looking for. What's that nugget? And it's interesting. I have a little test I do. It's a Super Bowl commercial test.
Okay, so this is what you need to remember, folks. This is what you do.
So if you're at a party, wait about 5 minutes. Pay attention to a commercial. Maybe it's a commercial with puppies, right? And they're in a puppy park. About 5 minutes later, ask whoever was paying attention to it with you, hey, what was that ad advertising? And you'd be surprised they can't name the brand. They'll go, I'm not really sure. The next question to ask is, well, what product was it? Beer, cars, chips, what was it? A lot of times, they can't even state that. So that's sometimes when they're missing the mark, because they haven't taken the emotional, like we all love puppies, right? That's going to get our attention.
Right.
But then what happens after that? What do I walk away with? So that down the road, when I decide I'm going to buy a car or drink a beer or get some chips, what brand is in my brain and what idea can I connect to it?
All right. That's great. Now, so everybody try that. And we're going to have Mark back on Monday. and we'll assess what's happened with all those commercials, and we'll talk about what our favorites were and how you think they did. How they pulled it off or didn't pull it off. So we'll kind of rank these commercials.
Yes.
So thank you so much for coming in this morning. Appreciate it.
Of course. Thanks for having me on.
All right. Sounds good.